connect. Oh,
that's
fantastic.
fantastic.
It's a bad wireless connection.
Yeah. Hello!
Hey!
How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us. This is our first Facebook Live video. And yeah, we just wanted to kind of share what we do when we're prepping for food. And we thought that it could be helpful for folks that are on a budget or people looking to just make some good food instead of just, buying packaged goods all the time. So anyway, for our first episode, we're going to make some simple tomato sauce. Whether you want to make it with, for pizza, or if you want to throw some pasta, lasagna, you name it, eggplant parm. Actually, that's what we're making after the video.
Yes.
Actually,
that will be a later episode if you want to request that.
So we might record it, we might not, because I get kind of sloppy when I make eggplant parm. So anyway,
we make sauce like several times a week. It really doesn't take very long if you have the things on hand and the ingredients aren't super complicated. I think people just think it's a lot harder than it is, so it's easy to just go grab a jar of sauce at the store. This seems complicated, but it's not. Once you know how, it's like a 10-minute task. It really doesn't take long, and it's so
10
good.
minutes? Really? You think it takes 10 minutes? I think it takes a little less time than that.
Well, after you pour the wine.
True, yeah, things...
and then you remember what the hell you were cooking. Yeah, and it's after work, and you got to regroup a little bit and find your ingredients. But yeah, it's really not complicated. And once you learn how, all you really need is, some simple ingredients, olive oil, tomato sauce.
Well, we're making the tomato sauce. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, you got to have your tomatoes.
Okay, so tomatoes, so again... It depends on how much you want to spend. So we usually get the store brand kind of high-end canned tomatoes, where it's just tomatoes, tomato juice, citric acid, and salt. Sometimes when it's on sale, we get the Italian tomatoes, and they're not the San Marzano tomatoes. They're just the Italian Roma tomatoes.
They'll say, they'll always say peeled tomatoes. Sometimes they'll say plum tomatoes,
right,
or San Marzano style tomatoes. Anything like that is fine. It's a big can. It's this guy here. Sometimes it has basil already in it, so that you can bypass a step. You don't need fresh basil.
And I believe this one has the basil in it already. This one is what? How many ounces is this? Is it 28 ounces?
I think it's 28. Hold on, I got another one.
Because sometimes they'll have like 28 ounces.
28.
Sometimes they'll have the larger cans, which I think are either 32 ounces or 35 ounces.
That's a lot of sauce.
So, and it's okay. It really just depends on, how much you want to make and how much you want to save for later. And also, we do things by taste. So we actually, before we went live, we were like, hey...
they were like, so how much? What is the measurement?
What are the measurements for everything?
We just throw it in and we taste it until it's good. And so, yeah, we've got some measurements, but it's by taste. Some people like more garlic, some people like more pepper. It's up to you. But this is kind of the basic. All right?
So, yeah, so basic. So we have canned tomatoes, peeled tomatoes. We have a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We have a 1/4 cup of Italian parsley, or flat parsley. We have 2 cloves of fresh garlic, a teaspoon of sea salt, teaspoon of pepper, and a tablespoon of oregano. Now, I like oregano, and actually that's the oregano from our garden.
This is from our garden, yeah. We're still working on it.
Yeah.
We pulled this up, and the oregano kind of took over the garden, so we've got a big sack of it still that we're still working on. We might make it till May. I don't know. Depends on how much sauce we make.
So the way I like doing it, and again, it's your preference. You can actually substitute garlic powder for the garlic, but I like to process the olive oil, the parsley, and the garlic together. And then after I run it through the food processor, then I add the drained, peeled tomatoes, the pepper, the salt, and the oregano. Babe, what are you doing there?
I'm getting ready to drain these tomatoes. Should we drink this wine first?
We should drink this wine. Again, ooh, thank you very much.
Ew.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
It's our maiden voyage. It's our first Facebook. This is our attempt to become internet famous before the kids.
Yeah.
Ching ching.
Ching ching. Salud.
All right. So why do you drain this? I mean, you can't. You don't have to.
You don't have to, but I like to drain it because I like a thicker, fuller sauce, and a lot of companies will add the water, and so sometimes it's really watery. And what companies do to thicken it, they'll add sugar. They'll actually utilize tomato paste to make the puree. And of course, I don't want to go that route unless I'm making something specific. Like, what do you use tomato paste for? I think the last time when you
Minestrone.
made minestrone, cabbage rolls, I think you used tomato paste. No,
that's just chopped tomatoes.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're
out of your element, Donnie.
Yeah, that's the gypsy dish.
That's the gypsy dish that you enjoy so much. All right, so here's your tomatoes after they're all out. The basil's hiding in there. Oh man, people are texting me. It's because we're getting internet famous right now.
Right.
It's notoriety. We didn't ask for this.
You're gonna do one of my time. I thought we were gonna do the olive oil and the.
I always do the tomatoes first. What are you talking about?
I wanted to do the olive oil and the garlic and the parsley first before, so I can chop those up.
Yeah, well, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Here, give me that. Give me that.
This? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the tomatoes out.
Why are you getting the tomatoes out? We're gonna make sauce. Where are you gonna drain this?
I'm gonna leave it right here.
Well, what are we doing?
All right. So, like I was saying before.
This is unprofessional.
So, yeah, I'll bust you in the head. So we got parsley. We got 2 cloves of garlic. Now, if you like garlic, you can add another clove, 4 cloves. It just depends on your taste. And a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Again, I would recommend tasting different types of olive oil.
You can taste the difference. You really can.
So we tend to.
Well, there's a couple of brands
buy
that we like,
what's on sale, and this is no product placement or anything like that, or backing any product. I mean, I grew up with my parents utilized Filippo Bedio. That's what they still use to this day. And we buy that when it's on sale.
Or we buy olive oil from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, and the Trader Joe's
the run of the house Trader Joe's olive oil
fantastic,
is
and that's actually that's imported. And well, they say it's imported from Italy, but it is actually it is pretty good. Sorry, let's go ahead and process this food.
Okay, I have to give a shout out to my grandma here. This is my grandma's food processor. It is the old General Electric from like I don't even know. It's probably older than I am. I guarantee you that.
It works fantastic. It's awesome.
It is a beast.
It's our favorite food processor.
It's the tomato sauce machine. So thank you, Grandma, for giving me this, because you don't need something fancy. You don't need some immersion blender or some garbage like that. You just need a crappy food processor. Go to Goodwill. Find yourself one of these GE ones. It's awesome. All right, ready to do some things?
Yeah, let's do some things. Here, go ahead, push the button. Garlic flying around. All right, that looks pretty good.
Garlic is pureed.
Okay, beautiful. Look at that.
Chop chop.
Actually, let me get this out of the way so people can see. Now,
Are you gonna tip that over?
now I wish that we had smell-o-vision, but check that out. So it actually it does
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
chop up the parsley pretty well, and the garlic. It's just a rough chop, but that's how I like it, just to kind of get that garlic flavor out there mixed in with that parsley. So
am I allowed to put the tomatoes?
now you can put the damn tomatoes in there.
It makes us this has never happened before. We put the tomatoes in every night. Tonight, he's mixing it up. This is improv Sunday. It's improv Friday, babe, not Sunday. All right, I didn't go the tomatoes.
All right, you want to throw everything else in there?
Okay, so
All
right, probably go, but haha. All right, so here's our oregano from our garden this summer, which is delicious. It's a bit of oregano, babe. Holy smokes. Okay.
Yeah, it's a tablespoon. It's really good. Now, I actually like, if you're making tomato sauce for pizza, I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's so good.
A lot of more than a tablespoon of oregano, and then also the basil. But if you have fresh basil, I would recommend utilizing fresh basil. Even though it is kind of expensive, you can definitely get away with the dried.
This is pepper. It's an easy thing to forget. It seems like a silly thing, but Yeah, it really does make all the difference. We use the sea salt, the coarse ground sea salt. You gotta start a little slow with this. Everybody likes, everyone's got a different opinion of how salty their sauce should be.
So that's a teaspoon of sea salt. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna do half.
Yeah, it's a matter of taste. You gotta spin it up and see what you think, because everybody's got a different taste for salt. All right. Set that, throw it in.
All right, push the button, babe.
There you go. One more spin. All right, there you go. Sauce.
On a side note, do you know how long it took us to actually get some good lighting in this kitchen?
That was why we were late.
I burnt myself. I was swearing up and down.
We have horrible lights in our kitchen, and
and they're probably still.
Ooh, dang.
How's that?
That's pretty good. Right out of the gate.
Oh, that's good.
That's a nice batch.
Oh, that's really good.
Now, anything else, or are we good?
No, this is really good. I mean, this
pretty good. Pretty good for the first try.
Yeah, we can actually add some more olive oil. I would say maybe another tablespoon of olive oil. We did utilize a 1/4 cup of parsley, and that's if you like parsley. If you don't like parsley, you don't have to use it. I like the parsley in the tomato sauce.
It tastes really fresh with the parsley in it. So, God, how long did that take? We were running our mouths, and it still only took 10 minutes. So, it's super easy. And so what we found out, because we were going to the store today to buy all these ingredients, and I said, hey, we should look at all those jarred sauces, right? We should look at all those jarred sauces and see what's in them, because as we were standing there, people were just one after the other down that aisle throwing those canned tomato sauces. I mean, and I know that's what I grew up on, Mom. It's okay, it's cool. But yeah, I grew up on those jarred sauces, right? Because that was how you made spaghetti. It was so fast. You boil pasta, you throw that can of sauce on, and dinner's done. Except there's so much sugar in them. Holy cow. We were looking at some of them, and I think probably one of the most popular, cheapest kind of, it's about $2 a can on sale. 12 grams of sugar in a serving. And a serving's only like a half cup.
And that's added sugar.
That's added.
They add
that's not
sugar,
like the
right?
tomato sugar.
So in like a regular...
that's a lot of sugar.
What those jars are what?
I wrote it down.
Are they 24-ounce jars?
On the damn floor.
I think they're 24-ounce jars.
They are. They were all 24-ounce jars.
So 24-ounce jars, just if the tomato sauce didn't have any added sugar, just naturally, I believe it's 4 grams per serving, which the serving is a half a cup.
Yeah. So we kind of went down the row, and we were like, okay, 24 ounces of tomato sauce. The cheapest one was like 89 cents, but all they used was just the tomato puree. So there wasn't whole tomatoes in it. It was just made straight from the puree. The big two, you know what the big two brands are. Those were both 12 grams of sugar per serving. Price point's about $2. And then we looked at some of the hoity-toity ones, because people think you spend $10 on a jar of sauce and it's going to be you don't need to. How much do you think the sauce cost that we made just now?
Oh wow! Now you made me do math.
Maybe $4.
So the can costs less than $2. I think it was like $1.80.
Yeah, I think it's about $2 for the can of tomatoes.
And then the olive oil. I mean, if you want to break it down, how much was that bottle of olive oil?
Oh, maybe $6.
All right, so
it was on sale.
So
but
maybe that was like 50 cents worth of olive oil and the parsley.
I mean, if you added up all the herbs and everything, I'm thinking
it's got to be less than $3.
Maybe $3 for this. I mean, and this is super, super good. There's no sugar in it, because sugar's nasty. You don't need it. It doesn't need it. The tomatoes are sweet enough on their own. My daughter, Cambry she waits for the sauce, because she'll sit here and she'll eat it. She'll eat it like soup. She'll get like salami or pepperoni or something and just eat it like it's chips and dip. It's just, there's just nothing like it. And it's not hard. Like I said, 10 minutes and you've got sauce that didn't come out of a can. And then
if you're making just some pasta or something, I'm like, while you're you're boiling the water, and then you're making this, water's boiling, throw in the pasta, whatever type of pasta you're making, 10 minutes, or if you're making angel hair or capellini, it's 3-4 minutes, and
It's super easy.
You got,
It's
you know,
super easy.
you got dinner on the table.
Yeah, and you don't have to
in
spend
15
$9
minutes.
for organic, non-GMO, whatever.
Oh yeah, that jar was $8.99.
It was $8.99, and yeah, and this is better. It tastes better, I promise. It really does. It's so good, and it's fast. All you need is the crappy old dinosaur food processor. Like I said, go to the Goodwills, get yourself one, throw all these things together, and spin it up. And
There you
you're
go,
done.
voila.
Just like that.
Sauce.
All right, that's the end of our first video. If you like this video, give us some feedback and tell us what you'd like to see
like
us
constructive
make
criticism.
next. Yeah, we'll come back and we'll do another video.
Suggestions?
Suggestions.
I mean,
we make pizza. We make limoncello. We've made cheese. I made crepes this morning for the first
she
time.
made crepes this morning.
They're pretty
They were
good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I made the filling.
Yeah, we make eggplant parm. We make pretty much anything Italian, and I've got some Hungarian specialties. Maybe I can do like a special. Make some cabbage rolls for you.
But yeah, anything that you guys have questions on, please feel free to hit us up on our page or on our personal pages.
Share our page with your friends, and we're gonna try to make some more videos and show you guys what we do on a weekly basis. And we cook for our family all week long, and it's not difficult, and it's so much better than running through a drive-thru or something. It's just much healthier, and it's super tasty, and cooking is fun.
Yeah, and it's pretty inexpensive, right? and a cook. I know people sometimes get frustrated because it's like one extra thing that they have to do, but you have to think about the process and thinking about what you're doing and the end result, right? And is that a healthy meal?
It's a way to eat healthy and not spend a ton either.
Exactly.
It's not that expensive at the end of the day. Throw it in. It's part of your routine, and we hope we see you again next time.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks.
Chin chin.
Bye.